Alright, so now that the double XP weekend has officially come to an end, a lot of you are probably level 40, 50, maybe even level 60 like myself. And if I'm gonna be honest, man, it's honestly becoming the norm where a lot of people are anywhere between the levels of 40 and 50 right now, which means that a lot of you are farming inside of catacombs as well as pyramid. Now, if you missed the video that I did the day before yesterday about the best ways to farm sulfur as well as gemstone, make sure to check that out. Specifically in today's video, we're gonna go over how to farm the rest of the materials that you're gonna need to create things like your legendary bow, your unique bow if you're going after that, any of your legendary weapons, any of the unique weapons. You're going to need these two materials that everyone seems to be struggling a lot with. And if I'm gonna be honest, there's actually more than two of them. I would say that there's probably three of them that people are struggling with, and that is celestial essence, phoenix heart timber, as well as palm wood. If you've been in any of my live streams, you probably already know that I have spent a lot of hours playing this game. The game's been out for roughly around 7-8 days, something like that. Your boy is sitting at 85 hours playtime. Just in case if there's that one weirdo out there, here is the game page. I'm gonna refresh it. Just today, I've played 8 hours and 15 minutes. If we go to all time, I've played 84 hours and 15 minutes. Let's go to the past week, 72 hours, 45 minutes. And again, all time 84 hours. So yeah, no duping or cheats around here. Now in that time frame, I have been able to go ahead and create both of my unique weapons as well as a full legendary armor set, and I'm sort of updating my armor set now so that way I'm able to start getting a little more luck in all of my armor. On top of all of that, I've also been able to get a lot of legendary weapon drops from doing my sulfur farm, and even with having created both of these uniques, I'm already sitting again at 708 sulfur. I got 409 amethicium. The point is that the grind is real right now, and that's why I stand by these methods that I'm going to show you guys. Now, the first one that I'm going to show you is going to be the Phoenix Heart Timber. This is a really tricky one for a lot of different reasons, but the main one is I've searched the entire map and I have not been able to find more than 7 of these trees. I do own the harvesting game pass, so I'm able to turn on lumber and I can see the spawn point of every single tree in the entire map. Throughout all of these zones, there is no other place that has Phoenix Heart Timber besides the 7 that I'm going to show you right now. Over here, if we head over to Catacombs, which is right underneath Elder Woods, I'm going to show you guys the quick path that I would take to be able to do this, starting with this one being the first one right behind Catacomb. From here, you're going to travel all the way down to Ant-Bound Wilds, which is where the second Phoenix Redwood is. Then you're going to travel to the middle where the sand is, and there is going to be your third one. From here, you will travel a little further north, just right outside of the hills in Ant-Bound Wilds, and there you're going to find your fourth one. From here, you'll travel to the left-hand side over to this side, and here you will find the 5th one. And then finally, you will travel over to this one here for the final Phoenix Heart. Now, I know I said there was 7 of them, but I actually just looked and no, there is only 6. I don't know where I got 7 from. Either way, this is the path that I've been taking over and over again, rinse and repeat. We're actually right over one of them right now. So if we come over here, this is what the tree looks like. It's an extremely tall, basically maple tree. Keep in mind, every single one of these trees, except for maybe like a handful of them, do have some type of mob that's really close to it that's going to unfortunately attack you. So keep that in mind. Now, to give you guys the quickest breakdown, because there is a lot of confusion about the entire gathering for this and stuff like that, to my understanding, this is the way the gathering works. The better tool that you have, the faster that you will be able to go ahead and farm everything. Now, for how much quantity you actually yield from gathering will be determined based off of the level of that specific skill. To increase the likelihood of that, you can also get a roll of harvest multiplier on that specific tool. For example, for me, I have luck on mine, but unfortunately, if I had harvest multiplier, I'd probably be getting a lot more, but I don't know why I just ended up staying with luck. But if we take a look at every single one of my other tools, I do have harvest multiplier on all of these, and that mixed in with the actual level of that skill is what is going to determine how much you actually get from every single mine, wood cutting, fishing, gathering, all of that good stuff. I point this out because there has been a lot of people that have joined the stream and have been like, yo, I don't understand. I have epic tools, but I'm still only getting 1 or 2 from actually doing all of this stuff. And the reason for that is because you are not max level. Currently, as I'm recording this, for lumbering, max level is 15, and for mining, it is 15. That is the max level. You cannot go any higher. And as of the time that I'm recording this, the only other skill that can go above level 15 is crafting. If you notice, I almost have mine to 16. Don't exactly know what the level cap to that is, but I know that you can actually get past 15 with that one. Again, here we are to the next redwood tree here. And also there is another mob standing right next to it. But here's where things get really good, right? Now let's assume that you're also looking for celestial essence. The beautiful thing is that throughout this entire path here of the Phoenix, there is also a lot of celestials. So if we look up here, this is where we are starting the entire kind of like run, like how I showed you guys before. To the left of that, you will find celestial. To the right of that, you will also find celestial. And then if we travel a little further down, there's also some more. Inside of Ant-Bound Wilds, there's also a lot of celestial, including even right next to some of the Phoenix. So in the event that you're actually trying to get both of these, then you would start up here, grab all of the ones that are up here. You're also going to grab this one down here, over here, travel all around through here and grab all of the celestials that are sort of scattered around here. Then you're going to take this tight path, obviously right after you grab this Phoenix here. In this tight path, there is a bunch of celestials as well that you're going to go ahead and grab. The final one being right up here. And then you'll fly over this mountain, grab the other Phoenix, which is the final one. And then inside of here, there's also more celestials that you want to grab. Now, assuming that you're done with Phoenix and maybe you want to mix in a new place for whatever reason, this isn't enough celestial, or maybe you just don't want to be in this region. I don't know what that reason would be, but the other place that you can find celestials would be Ogre's Labyrinth. There is a couple of them here. There isn't really like an insane amount. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty much it, really. 5 of them is all I can see here. So if you want a nice little cluster of 5 of them, so that way all you have to do is just kind of fly back and forth, since I'm sure that they will respawn within the time frame that you have to fly in between each one. You can do that. As for what the celestials look like, this is exactly what they look like. Let me go ahead and switch over to free cam. This is what they look like right here. This is a celestial tree. If I'm not mistaken, I believe to chop this down, you will need level 10. And for the redwood, I think it's level 13 or maybe 12. I could be completely off on both of those levels, but you'll obviously know as soon as you walk up to them and try to cut it down. Now, again, assuming that you're level 15, you're going to get some pretty good celestials every single time that you try to cut one down. Redwood, being the Phoenix heart, is always going to give you a hard time. You're always going to end up getting between 1. If you're lucky, you'll maybe get 4. But again, that's if you're like insanely lucky. Usually I end up getting 1 or 2. I got insanely lucky right there. I got 4 of them. Let's go. So that pretty much does it for Celestial as well as Phoenix Heart. Those are probably the ones that a lot of people are having the most struggle with right now, and the ones that really have the highest price tag, because obviously, for one, the dupers are selling them and trying to capitalize off of everybody. The unfortunate part is that there is so many new players because of the double XP weekend that you guys can't even afford it. So it's kind of stupid. So now you can kind of just go around and farm the stuff yourself. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I promise it just kind of becomes repetitive and you'll sort of get the hang of it and you'll really be done in no time. Now, for Palmwood, this is another one that people seem to be struggling with a lot. There is a total of 3 places where you can get Palmwood in the entire map. The first location is actually not too far from where we are right now, which is the Wasp Wing Glade. This beach over here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different locations that you can go ahead and grab yourself some Palmwood. And then if we move over to Skitter's Nested Village, there is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here as well. This is for those of you that can only travel within the mainland. If you don't have a turtle mount, if you don't have a flying mount to be able to get over to Sandstone Isle, then you definitely want to use both of those locations. Unfortunately, people do farm these and they have a really horrible respawn time. But over here in Sandstone Isle, there is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 just in this small little area. By the time that you've gone ahead and done maybe like a rotation like this right here, by the time that you get here, this one will have already spawned, and then you can go ahead and just continue rinsing and repeating over and over again. I did this for maybe 20 minutes. And just within that time frame, I was able to get pretty close to the 252 that I needed. But again, keep in mind, I do have level 15 lumbering, and I also have luck and like a bunch of other different stuff, harvesting multipliers. So I get a lot of yield every single time that I do it. You guys might get a little different result, especially if you're a newer player. As for the rest of the stuff that you basically need to be able to do a legendary weapon, it's kind of straightforward. Leathering you'll end up getting as you're playing the game, and to be honest, the requirement for all of this is so low compared to what you actually get while you're leveling that you'll have an excess amount, just like I do. For rocks and oak wood, it's no secret the best place to do it is in the spawn, the place that you were located as soon as you sort of like woke up from being knocked out at the very start of the game. That little area right there, it seems like it has a higher respawn rate or something. I don't know what it is. It might just have the same respawn rate, but all of the trees and the rocks are so cluttered together that it makes it very, very easy to just go ahead and run around in a circle and hit those over and over again. It shouldn't take you more than 25 minutes, even with getting distracted, to get all of this stuff that's green and common fully completed. Emeraldite, if you're able to go into catacombs, that is your best bet. There is plenty of emeraldite in there. If you have a flying mount, it becomes even easier. You can just go ahead and fly around in circles. It'll respawn by the time that you've gone ahead and picked the final one. Same goes for amberite. And then finally, alloy. This is one that I get asked all the time about, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, there is no simple answer to this. It really all depends on what level you are. Remember, you stop earning XP and you stop receiving rewards once you have a 15 level gap to that NPC. For example, this male grizzly bear here, if I was to go ahead and attack him, I will get XP for my bow mastery and XP, very, very little of it, but I will not get any drops from it. So that is definitely something that you want to keep in mind. I know I mentioned that you don't get XP, but realistically, when you're level 60 and you need 687,000 XP, 100 is just not going to cut it. So if you guys maybe want me to do a follow-up video where I just go ahead and show you levels 1 through 60, what you should be farming to be able to get some alloy, let me know in the comments. I'll gladly do a video on that. We'll visit every single area and I'll show you guys exactly what you need to do. I'm also considering doing a 1 through 60 guide. I haven't actually done this because I feel like there's so many of them already out there, but again, if that's something that you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments. I will gladly be down to do that. But with that being said, man, I think I've gone ahead and pretty much broken down every single one of the locations that you should be farming for the life skills, or I guess what I would call them, gathering skills. If for some reason I didn't touch bases on something or you're a little confused, feel free to ask me in the comments. I occasionally do look in there and I'll reply to you as best as I can. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end off the video right here. Thank you guys for all the support, especially during this weekend. It's been pretty insane, man. I will see you guys in the next live stream, which hopefully should be later on today. We're trying to keep consistency with the live streams mixed in also with the uploads. That's gonna do it for this one, man. Like always, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.